Hi everybody, it's Claire from Art Journal Love with another video for graphicsarts.com. I'm going to be sharing some inspiration using some of Graphics' fabulous products. So here we go. I'm going to be making a little wallet to keep the mixed media art journal in. I'm going to be using a piece of the craft plastic. This is the grey coloured one. So I'm wanting to make it into a wallet shape. So you can see I'm folding it, but I'm leaving about half an inch at the top. So then when I fold the other side to match, I'm going to end up with like a little spine in the centre so that I can slot the journal in. So I wanted it to be that big so that, if I'm adding things into my journal, it'll still fit in there. So as you can see, I'm going to be using lots of Amsterdam acrylic, bright coloured paints. One of the things I love to do is use bright colours. So I've picked up the paints on my brush there and I'm going to pull those across the craft plastic in one movement, and then I'm going to do the same with the pink and the purple colour as well, and then give that a dry. So the craft plastic, you can dry it really carefully. It's heat resistant, so it works really well for this kind of technique. Once I'd dried that first swipe, I could then go in again and swipe over the top. So I'm thinking about this design. It needs to be on the front and the back of the wallet that I'm going to make. So now I'm going in with a stencil, a circle stencil. I think this is one from Dina Wakley Media. I can never remember what this one's called, but any dotty stencil will work perfectly. And I'm just using some of the colours that I've already used on the rainbow swipes just to add some stenciling onto the cover as well. A little bit of text. I'm just going in with a lilac-y colour there just to add some text onto there too. Smaller text. So building up the layers using lots and lots of different stencils. I'm pretty sure these are all from Dina Wakley Media, one of my favourite brands to use. So then I got that to a point where I was happy and decided I wanted to push some of the rainbow colours away a little bit. So I'm using the Scroval stencil from Dina Wakley Media just to add some I think I'm using mineral colour, like it's a really nice bluey grey over the top. So this craft plastic is great because you can treat it just like you would a journal page. And certainly for creating things like this, it's just so easy to work on. You could even collage onto it first if that was something you wanted to do. But I think it's lots of fun to build those layers using stencils. You can create a really interesting layered look. So now I'm going to use some stamps on there. This is a black archival ink from Ranger, and this is a text stamp called Shoot for the Stars from Funky Fossil. I'm just adding a little bit of stamping onto there, so starting to bring a bit of contrast onto my wallet cover as well, use on the craft plastic from Grafix. Then I'm adding some more stamping, just some dots. This is another stamp from Funky Fossil as well. So I'm kind of liking how that's come together. Then I decided I would edge all the way around using some ink as well. And it kind of helps to give it that really nice sort of finished off look, really, like you've kind of thought about everything, even though you may not have done. So that works quite nicely. And as I said, this is a sort of thing a technique you would use on tags and things like that. And it works perfectly on this craft plastic. Then I'm adding some splatters in a lighter colour than any of the colours I've used so far. And again, I just give that a quick dry with my heat tool once I've got that to a point where I was happy. So now I'm going to grab a piece of shrink film, also from Grafix. It's the clear one that I'm going to use. They do lots and lots of different types of shrink film. There's sanded, there's metallic ones, there's black, there's white, but I am using the clear one for this project. So I'm going to use the same colours that I used on the rainbow, and I'm just going to go in and paint some circles, and then I'm going to pop it to one side and leave it to dry, because obviously you can't heat dry this because it will shrink, and I want it to shrink later, not just yet. So there we go. I've done lots of circles of different sizes using the colours I've used before. So now I'm coming back to the wallet, and I'm using a Stubble all pencil, and I am marking 1/2 inch all the way down the side of my wallet, and then I'm using a Cropodile, holding both edges together, the front and the back, and I'm going to punch through both of those edges. The Cropodile is great for doing this kind of job. It punches really easily through the craft plastic. Any problem that appears to be happening here is user error. It's me. It's not the Cropodile. So I was doing this because I decided I was going to kind of lace the edges together. My thinking here was that if my journal got too chunky, I could always loosen off the sides and just make a bit more space. So I am literally lacing it like it's a shoe. And I'm using wax coated thread to do this. And yeah, and then when I get to the top, I'm just going to tie it in a little knot and bow and leave those ends hanging down. So here I've done the same on the other side as well. I've laced it all the way up to the top, and then I'm just going to leave those tails hanging down. So the mixed media journal fits perfectly in this little wallet. It's lovely. I love how the top of it's popping out. I'm just going to cut round these circles on the clear shrink plastic. I'm also going to use these little stamps to add some stamp details to them as well. And this is just going to create a little bit more interest when they are shrunk down, and they're going to make lovely little charms on the side of the journal wallet. So here you can see the lovely little script stamp. This is a Darkroom door one. Just fits perfectly on these little circles. So I've got a bit of a mixture going on. And then I am using my Cropodile again just to pop a little hole into the top of these. Now the Cropodile will pop a hole in them when they have shrunk as well, but it's much easier to do it when they are pre-shrinkage. So I am a bit lazy and couldn't be bothered to go to my oven, so I've discovered that you can shrink these using a heat tool. You have to be a little bit careful, obviously, because the plastic does get very, very hot. But yeah, I just have my heat tool directed at it. I get ready to kind of flip the pieces around once they shrink, and then squash them flat with a ruler. And that's how I tend to do it. So then I'm just going to attach them to the tails that I've got hanging off the sides of the wallet I've created. I've also tied a couple more pieces of thread onto there too, and those are all going to just hang off the sides of my wallet. So a really lovely way to use the craft plastic. It's so versatile and it makes such a lovely wallet. You could make lots of them for your other art journals too. I know lots of people like to paint the covers of their art journals, but this is another way that you can still be creative, and you could make little folders for all of your completed art journals using the Grafix craft plastic, which comes in lots of colours. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. For more inspiration, don't forget you can visit the Grafix website, grafixarts.com, for more inspiration from other artists and lots of ideas of ways that you can use the Grafix products. So thanks for watching, everybody, and I hope to see you again soon.